So my yellow post-it note says beauty versus Botox, and reduction is more difficult than extravagance. These are the words of Simon Loseby, the head of design for Hyundai and the head designer for the brand new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Now, as we go all the way around this car and talk about the finer points of design, I'm going to refer to both my post-it and my phone because we've just gotten out of the global unveil of what is the all-new Ioniq 9, which has really big shoes to fill, because the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6, before it, the 7 and 8 haven't come as yet, have been multiple award winners and multiple World Car of the Year winners. So the Ioniq 9 has really big shoes to fill, but it's a really clean design, which is characterized by, like the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6, the pixel, because the pixel equates to Ioniq. And it's a really clean design, which has a lot of different features that we'll go over. The first one to start with is that they've taken the front end of this car and shrunk it. A typical design of a big vehicle is a big front end, which signifies power, a silhouette which has this A-pillar line that extends to the center of the wheels, and equal overhangs, which is this section here, front to rear. And this design has turned all of those conventional designs on its head. It's got a short front end with space for a little bit of luggage in the front boot, which they call the frunk. It's got a very short overhang, a very clean front end, a front end which is really reductionist in its approach, which keeps all the radar, the sensors, all integrated into this front panel. And you've got high beam and low beam integrated down here with a module that can be changed out as the technology improves. So the overall aesthetic and the design stays the same, but little bits and pieces can be updated over the life cycle of this car. As we go around the side, you'll see again a short front end, but a really steeply raked A-pillar and a window line, and all of this is done to make the inside of this car as big and voluminous as possible for a 3-row SUV, which is really spacious and comfortable on the inside. It has a 3.13 meter wheelbase, so it's really long, and you've got a fixed section in the window here and a really steep roof line. You've got a rear door which is absolutely massive. You've got a fairly large front door, but a rear door which is so much bigger to allow ingress, egress, and a cabin that is really inviting. We'll get into that in a second. You'll also notice electric wing mirrors. So the coefficient of drag of this vehicle is under 0.26. It's 0.259, which for a car of this size is spectacular. And what Simon said was that, well, the size should not feel daunting. So it's a big vehicle, but it's made to look and feel small, compact, and approachable. And also that it should use less energy as it travels down the road. So again, it's a big vehicle which has a coefficient of drag that is equal to what used to be a small car. If we go around the back, again, the defining factor is the pixel on the taillights and this beautifully sculpted line, which is almost, inspired from a boat. So it's a boat tail, It's a very steeply raked window line, and then it comes down as steeply towards the back as it started off in the front. So it makes it feel like a really sharp, fastback kind of silhouette, and it's got this beautiful line which gives it muscle and gives it stance, but also gives it a lot of elegance. So again, it's a big vehicle, and it's built to accommodate 3 rows of adults. It's built to accommodate space for your luggage and for big long road trips, but it looks elegant and it looks much smaller on the road than it actually is, which is actually a real high point of the design. You've got 3 rows of seats. This particular model has captain's chairs and a 3rd row, and it also has seats, depending on which market allows it, that swivel 180 degrees. So you can move this seat to face the rear passengers, and really what they tried to achieve was to make it like a lounge on the inside. So not like a traditional cabin, but more like pieces of furniture and like a lounge. And you've got a really, really spacious, airy cabin. You've got a massive window line, and you've got these huge doors with big, wide windows, which gives it a real sense of space. The other aesthetic that they went for was this sort of very shapely, organic kind of shapes that is inspired by nature, and it's inspired almost by the curves of a smoothly shaped pebble, and it's supposed to feel really organic and soothing and relaxing. If we look at the front, it's not loud and in your face. It's got a beautifully curved screen, which is a 12.5-inch instrument cluster, a 12.5-inch infotainment screen, which is integrated into this one big screen. It's got all this technology which is packed in here in a very organic and subtle, sophisticated manner. It's not a big, massive screen in the center which is in your face. It's all done in a way that is in keeping with the exterior design and the exterior sort of subtle, sophisticated, reductionist approach. And it's all really clean and very elegant. Of course, some markets will get the electric rear view mirrors, side view mirrors, and some will get the more traditional mirrors, which have increased the coefficient of drag to 0.26 instead of 0.259, so 0.269, so almost 0.27 instead of 0.259. But what they've really focused on with this car is a cabin that is really comfortable, very spacious, and really, really a nice place to be. So from a technical standpoint, it's a 110 kilowatt battery pack, which gives it a range of over 530 kilometers. And they say that it takes just 24 minutes to give it charge from 20% to 80%. So they've really worked on the ability of this car to be usable, have long range, charge fast, and should eliminate all thoughts of range anxiety. So the purpose of this car is to be a big, really usable EV which you can use as a family for road trips, and it should feel like a space where you can engage with nature by going out into nature and with all the occupants in this car as a family. So they've really paid attention to the details on this vehicle. One of the real challenges of engineering an EV is sound insulation. So they've got triple layer insulation in the doors. They've got motors which are fully insulated. They've even got foam in the tires for eliminating road noise. You've got active sound cancelling inside the cabin to make it as smooth and seamless and relaxing as possible. And Hyundai this year has produced their 100 millionth vehicle in its 57-year history. And this platform and their transition to EVs is incredibly important for the future of this company. This is the latest iteration of the eGMP platform, and Hyundai expects to sell 2 million EVs by 2030, and this, the brand new Hyundai Ioniq 9, is going to be a key component in that strategy going forward.